My name is Jerome Sayers. I'm from Russell County, Kentucky, originally from Casey County. I am a construction worker by day, and by night I try to do some art. I didn't really take it so seriously, until maybe 2014, and it was kind of a moment when it was an all or nothing thing where I decided that I was either going to draw or I wasn't. I didn't want to let my talent go to waste, so I started drawing, and here I am now. My art style and who my inspirations are. My art style, it started out being more comic book, think Spider-Man and Batman, Superman, mid-90s. It started out more like that, but when I got out of high school and matured some, it became more fine art, and I got into some painting. I got into trying to draw as realistically as I possibly could, and then I've come back around to the comics, it seems. Jim Lee and Todd McFarlane were big inspirations for me back when I was in high school. There's been a lot of others, Mark Schultz and Larry Elmore. As I've went on, I've got to where I like more realistic art. I like seeing how realistic I can make it. In 2014, I started doing more art, taking it more seriously, and I got talked into putting some of my stuff on Facebook, and Bryan saw my work on Facebook through a mutual friend and contacted me about doing pencils on issue 2 of Papercut 2. And one of my bucket list things was that I would do a comic book someday, so I of course accepted. The script looked like it would be fun. It wasn't too serious, and I didn't want to try to get into doing like some grand epic on my first comic book. So it was kind of cartoony, so it seemed like a good place to get my feet wet. The process, it's evolved as I went along. It started out lots and lots of tracing paper. I would sketch something on tracing paper and then retrace it and retrace it again, and then what they call black the back and use ink to transfer it to a board and then ink that. But then I got a printer that I could blue line with, so I was able to take my little sketches and put them on a sheet how I wanted them. I could move them around and then make a blue line copy and then ink that. And if I messed it up, that was okay, because I could make another blue line copy and start over, and it was less stressful that way. Well, it was fun to learn the process. It was a lot of work, but it was fun and rewarding. I got to mark something off my bucket list, and after doing it, while I was doing it, I was like, I'm never doing this again. But now that it's over, yeah, I want to do it again. So just the doing it itself was the biggest reward, and then being able to hold a comic book in your hand that you've done, that's pretty nice too. Most challenging aspects of the project would have to be the time. I work full time. I'm gone 12 hours a day for work. I get off on weekends usually, but finding the time between work and life was pretty hard to do. And doing a comic, you're drawing picture after picture, page after page. It really sometimes didn't seem like it was ever going to end, even though it was 17 pages. It was a long process, but it was still worth it. But that was the most challenging part. In issue 2, I did all the pencils and the inks too, but I just didn't really have the time to do that again so soon. So I wanted to work on it somehow, and Bryan maybe shoehorned me in, I don't know, but I did a pin-up, and then I did all the character sketches, which was a lot more relaxing and fun to do. I didn't have to like try to get so many elements to overlap, except on that poster. That was pretty tough, but I'm taking a break from doing like the pencils on a full issue right now. I do want to return to that. I someday do want to do my own comic, but right now I'm just kind of taking it easy until I get some things straightened out and just doing some random commissions, some portraits. I enjoy doing portraits and just various other small projects. Since working on Papercut 2, it's opened the door for a few other comic book jobs and some like a little comic book and a novel. It has opened a few doors, and I've even not had the time to do some stuff that I've had to turn down, but hopefully in the future I can pick up more of that. I did a cover for a comic book called Fade by Travis Huber. That was just, he wanted me to do a full comic that was like maybe 60, 70 pages by Veterans Day, and that was just, I just don't have the time. Maybe in the future I will be able to do something like that. But yeah, the Fade cover, Jennifer Osborne's Sheeland saga, a little bit of work in that. And what else? Steven Zimmer's Valkyrie, Raiden Valkyrie. Steven Zimmer, I met him at Comic-Con 2015, I think. I just saw one of his banners and it looked interesting. It had Raiden Valkyrie on it. And I just went up and started talking to him and told him I was an artist, and we kind of kicked it off from there. I talked to him about maybe doing a comic book of Raiden Valkyrie someday, and that's still not off the table, I don't think. But he did want me to do some art for him, and he started a Kickstarter for a Raiden Valkyrie television pilot that he was going to turn into some networks, and had me do some just concept sketches of Raiden in different attire. I don't know. I mean,
if you want to skip the question, I'll just say skip.
Yeah, skip that one. I don't know. That one just don't seem right to me somehow.